Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, or whatever time you're watching this. You know how we all say, or at least I say, or I hear a lot of people say, I'll do that when I have time. Well, we have lots of time right now, and it is time. And I am going to take advantage of this time to spring clean my house and spring clean my yard. But I also was thinking about kind of a spring clean for our lives. And I made a list because I do much better with a list. As much as I love just rambling on, a list is good for me, keep me on track. So I made a list of things that we now have time to do. And it is time to do. So the first thing is remove things that aren't serving you. And this can be physical things, things that you keep around your house that you collect. And it can also be things that you do every day. Immediately, what comes to mind for me, and I'm not a person that watches the news, but I know a lot of people do watch the news every day. And right now, the news is full of fear and panic and craziness. And if I was a person that was regularly watching the news, I would probably stop or at least limit it because it wasn't serving me. There's also things that we are unable to do right now because of our state's restrictions. And it gives you time to take a look at those things and say, are these things serving me? Are these things something that would benefit me and my family? Are they things that are glorifying God? Or is it something that I'm doing to please other people, to make my status look greater in front of other people? And we have now time to look at the things that we are doing every day and the people that we are serving. And is it something that is beneficial, or is it something that can be removed? So I'm going to do this as well. And I have, for the most part, removed the things that weren't serving me and the things that weren't benefiting my family and things that were, using and abusing me a few years ago. So that part for me is mostly done, but still some little self-analysis. And Leo just jumped up here. He wants me to pick him up. So I'll pick him up. Hello, Leo. Number 2, finished projects. We all have lots and lots of projects probably that are sitting around, and we're saying, well, I'll get back to that when I have time. Well, we have time to finish those projects. Make plans. Look at how your life is. Look at the things that you do day to day. For me, on my little farm homestead, I'm kind of, make plans, write them down, decide what how I want things to develop, things I want to do, things I want to get done, because now I have time to sit and make plans and think about things and discuss them with my husband and decide if they're going to benefit us or not. Write, study, sing, talk, cook, dance. We have lots of time to do these things now. We can, it's important to try to keep a routine in this, but at the same time, I think we are able now to be a little bit more free-spirited with our time because we have lots of time. So learn to cook, talk with your family, have those in-depth conversations that you want to have, because there's no pressing time of, I have to go to bed, I have to get this done, I have to get that done, because I can probably do it tomorrow. So dig deep into topics that interest you. Write. We're all gifted writers. A lot of us don't take the time to do it. Some of us do. Put some music on, sing, make food, try new things. Start walking or running. If you said, well, I'm going to start that exercise program when I have time, you have time. Get your dog out. Go walk by yourself, walk with your other isolated family members. You have time to go out and do those things now. And at least in the state of Wisconsin, we are allowed to go for a walk. So start moving your body. You will feel better. You will feel less isolated. You will Getting some fresh air is really a great thing. Yesterday I went out and tapped my maple trees. I wasn't going to do it this year because I have a lot of maple syrup left from last year, but I got a lot of time on my hands. And tapping maple syrup or tapping maple trees to produce maple syrup is beneficial because it is, I produce something out of it. I produce maple syrup, which is a natural sugar, but it also gets me outside. It gets me active. I have to, build a fire. I have to drag buckets of sap, and it gets me out in the fresh air. So start moving your bodies. Dive into your hobbies or learn a new one. We all have hobbies. We all have creative things that we like to do. And now's the time. You could spend an entire day working on something that you love, creating things. You could learn something new if you're able to get the materials that you need to get to try it, or you could at least just research into it. But having a creative outlet in a time where we have unlimited time and nowhere to go and we can't have visitors and we can't go to work, having a creative outlet will keep us from getting that cabin fever sort of feeling, which I noticed in my boys yesterday. They're getting pretty wild, so they have that cabin fever. So time to get them out doing something. I'll have to work on that today. Learn some basic life skills. I think not necessarily for me or for a lot of people I know, but I think for many of us, basic life skills as far as cooking, cleaning, regular things, that's really lacking in our culture right now. People panicking because restaurants will be closed because they really don't know how to make food. They don't know how to do things without someone else doing them for you. I discussed with my husband, and that's probably another video, but I discussed with my husband yesterday, I feel as if we are raising a generation of helpless adults. And right now, that helpless adults that do not know how to do basic things for survival and for keeping themselves alive. If they can't go through a drive-through and pay with a debit card, they don't know how to do it. And that's really frightening to me. That's another video. But time to learn basic life skills. If you have children, teach them basic life skills. We're all homeschooling our children right now. Let's add in how to make a fire, how to cook food, how to clean, how to keep yourself alive without the benefit of technology and drive-through restaurants. And the last and most important thing, and I have been feeling this, of course, since the beginning of January. If you've been watching my videos, you know this because I keep talking about it. It's caused me to lose subscribers and gain some, but that's okay. But the most important thing is right now, get your heart right with God. I feel a shift in what's going on. I think there's some scary times ahead. There's scary times right now. There's a lot of fear. But right now you have a lot of time to read your Bible, to pray, to listen for God's voice, and to worship. And above all the other things that I said, I think this is the most important. Get your heart right with God. Get your family together and talk to them. Spend time in prayer, and actual prayer, not just a list of, well, I shouldn't say actual prayer, not just a list of requests, but a conversation with your Creator, where you speak and then you listen, and you listen for His voice. And it takes practice and it takes time, but we have time. And turn on some worship music and just let it play and listen to it and sing along and let yourself be filled with the presence of God. And that in itself is going to give you a lot of peace, a lot of removal of that fear and anxiety and, the worry of the unknown and all the other things that we are and I am going through right now. Spend some time with God, and I appreciate you guys so much. I am glad to be able to speak to you and get my thoughts out, and It's incredibly helpful to me, and I hope it's helpful to you. Live and love out of the way you were created. Thank you so much.